and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. There's nothing better than learning from the experts, especially when it comes to investing your hard-earned money.
Hi, this is Phil Grande, host of Phil's Gang Radio Show. At Phil's Gang and philsgang.com, I have one goal in mind: to help you become a skilled investor in the stock market and find your financial freedom. With the Working Investor Program, you will learn what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. You'll develop skills like selling short and how to profit, even in a stock market crash. This is the real world investing information that will give you the edge to be successful in the stock market. No gimmicks, just real strategies, and I'll make the offer even better with a 10-day free trial of the Working Investor Program.
Once you're in the gang, you're in the know. And with the free 10-day trial of the Working Investor Program, there's no reason not to give it a try.
Become a Phil's Gang member and reclaim your financial freedom. Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Money's coming to me.
You're starting to feel the pain trickle through on the lower end of businesses and households. But, you know, most households and most businesses are actually still quite healthy.
Where do they get these numbers? The households are healthy. Do these people ever talk to anyone? Do they ever go outside their offices? Where do they get this information from? You know, I go shopping every Saturday. I go to the public supermarket, and I love going to the supermarket. I get to talk to people. And when you talk to people in a supermarket, you get to know what's really going on. Every politician should go to a supermarket. Instead, politicians have somebody else shopping for them. I mean, it's amazing. Where do they get this crap from? I mean, just like this rally we're witnessing right now. Everyone's saying, I mean, I never heard such stupid stuff. They're trying to convince us to take Parkinson's. This is it. This is the big one. We're on our way. On our way to where? Where are we on our way to? What has changed? 1/10 of 1%? That changed everybody's lives? 1/10 of 1%? Oh my God, inflation's on 1/10 of 1%. It changed the world. Are they nuts? Nothing's changed. I told you about the banks that blew up and Baby Bush. He never fixed it. He never fixed the problems. We still have those problems. Or let's go back to March. Let's go back to March 2023 when the banks blew up. Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, Signature Bank. They never fixed what blew those up. They band-aided it. Oh, I see. The market's on its way. To where? You didn't fix the banks. So to identify how much further this rally will run off this October low, and by the way, in October, we bought banks, we bought banks, and we bought the tech stocks. We loaded up on them because I told my members and I sent them out alerts telling them this is where this rally is going to head. It's going to be a bank rally. It's going to be a tech rally. You wait and see. It's going to be the last rally we see before the crash. But boy, they're going to run it like hell. And they're going to use the banks to do it. And they're going to use the tech to do it. And here it is right here, October 27th. Actually, it was October 24th we bought Intel. We bought Intel. It's one of our stocks, so we're in it all the time, Intel. It was around $33.68. And today it's at $43. Matter of fact, it spiked up again yesterday. Oh, this is it? I see. Oh, it's never going to come down again? It's up 20%. Now, I'm not saying every one of my gang members made 20%. I don't know that. All I'm saying is where we tell them to get in, and when the color-coded chart turns green, it tells you, hey, the footprint for money. See, think of a chart as like a map. It's like a footprint, and you're following footprints. In my charts, all of a sudden you start seeing the footprints turn to green. Now you're following money. You see the footprints red. Every candlestick is red. That's a footprint that money's leaving. So we could see that money was going in, no question about it. But let's get back to, again, think about the headwinds we are facing. Due to Powell's rate increases to fight inflation, Powell created a banking crisis because he's not that smart. He's not that smart. He caused a banking crisis. He caused Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, Signature Bank to collapse. I mean, he was so dumb. I mean, think what he did. Powell goes in, and he keeps raising rates, and he never sat down with the banks. He's the head of all the banks. He never sat down with the banks and said, let me see now, if I raise my rates higher than the yields that you are receiving, the profits you are receiving in your portfolio of bonds and mortgage-backed securities, because that's what banks do, and you deposit money in the bank, they just don't keep it. They'll loan some, and they take the rest of it, and they buy bonds, and they buy mortgages, and they sit back, and they get nice yields every month. But let me ask, didn't Powell ever sit down with all his banks and say, okay, I'm going to raise rates now to fight Biden's 40-year high inflation. Now, how high can I go so that I don't disturb your profits, your yields, your income? Because if you disturb those profits, those yields, those income on banks, we are screwed. The whole world's screwed. Because remember, banks are the leadership, not tech. Banks. And that's why this market's not going to keep this rally. And we're in tech. I'm not fighting tech. I never fight the tape. I never fight the tape. We're in them. I told my members on October 27th to buy Microsoft. We bought Microsoft at $329, I think it was. $329. Today it's $372. I told them to buy Apple at $167. It's $189. I told them to buy AMD at $96. It's now $189. So, I mean, I'm not fighting the tape. You don't fight the tape because I saw the footprints. See, when you just follow footprints. Matter of fact, anybody can be a great trader. Anybody can be a great trader if you can read a map. If you can read a road map, you can be a great trader. As long as you know how to get back. You see what I'm saying? If you read a map to get from point A to point B, can you figure out how now to get back? To go back to point A? Sure. Well, people don't do that in stocks for some reason. In stocks, they don't short. So you go from point A to point B on a map, and a guy will turn his car and he'll go back. But why is it in trading people never go back? They never short. They never. It's insane. They never short. Or it's like buying a car. Who would buy a car and not have reverse? Oh, I want to order a new car, but don't you dare put reverse in. But let's get back to the point. Why this market, they'll rally it, and they're going to rally it through the holidays. They always do. But remember, we got a big bomb over our heads. And it's not the big banks, it's the small banks that have never been fixed since March. So Powell, you would think he would have sat down with the banks and said to the regional banks, have him at his big office in Washington, say, okay, I'm going to be raising rates. How high can I raise the rates so that I don't hurt your returns, your yields, your profits? Evidently, he never did that. Because one day he gets a phone call and Silicon Valley Bank's broke. First Republic's broke. Signature's broke. They can't pay their depositors. They don't have any money. Why? Because when Powell kept raising rates, those rates went higher than the profit yields that those banks are receiving from their mortgage-backed securities and their bonds. Now, wouldn't you think they would know, that Powell would know that number, so he wouldn't do that to them? And what happened? What happened then? Well, now you got millions of people, depositors, who have no insurance. So what did he do? I'll explain when I get back. Nothing smart.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. The feds have raised interest rates again, and AI is the topic of the day. No matter what the financial headlines are, be a successful investor with Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Take advantage of the free 10-day trial for the Working Investor Program. Phil Grande has put together the tools you need to understand the stock market with full access to the Phil's Gang website and access to Phil's Pro 2 color-coded charting software. Know with confidence when to buy, sell, and short a stock. Members also have access to Coffee Talk. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern, Phil Grande talks about what's happening on Wall Street that day. Want to be a better investor? Then take advantage of the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. You'll find many more features and tools for the working investor. After the trial, it's just $59.95 a month for membership. Invest with the best. Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grande and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor Program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grande and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grande and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grande.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun. Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You can listen to me on Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, Apple. Look, understand, if everyone is thinking that, okay, because inflation came down 0.1%, this is it, we're going back to Goldilocks. No, we're going towards a crash. Now, understand this. When Powell kept raising the rates, think about what he did. And he kept raising them to a point that the regional banks, the first three, went broke because the rates were going higher than the yields they were collecting or the profits they were making. And again, I know I keep repeating this, but I'm stunned to think that wouldn't Powell sit down with the CEOs of the biggest regional banks and say, how far can I raise rates so I don't hurt your revenues on your mortgage-backed securities and your bonds? I certainly don't want my rates superseding those and all of a sudden you're broke. Wouldn't that make sense?
Of course it would. But he didn't do that, did he? No. So what happens? So you get the three banks that go belly up. But here's the problem. And this is why our problem's not over. So the first problem he has, you got millions of depositors of three banks. They can't get their money back. But again, it was okay because Powell stepped in and made sure they printed enough money, which again increased more inflation, and took care of the depositors of the three banks so they didn't lose any of their deposits. But you and I have to pay for that, and that's why your gasoline is a little higher now and your bread's higher because of that stupidity. So, but the problem was that there's another 180 regional banks that are insolvent. So what did he do? Instead of fixing it, he puts a Band-Aid on it, and now nobody's talking about it. So there's 180 banks that are ready to go down the toilet, just like those. That's like Silicon Valley Bank, Republican signature. But what they did, they put a Band-Aid on it. They created the banking program, term funding program, put $12 trillion in it, and telling the CEOs, keep going, go to the window, get your money, so that when your customers ask for their money, remember, Silicon Valley Bank and Republican signature, they didn't have anything to go to. So it was too late. They were broke. So they didn't have any money they could give their depositors who wanted to take the savings out of the bank, and they wanted to buy a 3-month treasury for 5% rather than getting 0.25% at the bank. So you see, they didn't have a chance. But like I said, at least you and I bailed them out at our cost. So now there's another 180 banks ready to go down. They're insolvent. They have losses of $650 billion, but they didn't want to tell anybody. They didn't want to tell anybody they had losses of $650 billion, so they put the bank funding program together. But that's more debt. That's more debt they've got. And in the meantime, the interest rates aren't going down. What I mean by that is the amount of rates that we have right now, the rate increases are still so high. That's like when they said, inflation came down 0.1%. Well, wait a minute. We're supposed to hit a target of 2%. We're at, what is it now, 3.2%. You know how far away that is? We'll never see that in our lifetime. But again, because these regional banks are insolvent, they're going to go down, and nobody's fixing it. So that happened 8 months ago. Why didn't they fix it? It's still sitting there with a Band-Aid on it. And people are asking, oh, how high is this rally going to go? We're okay now, right? The market's just going to keep going up now. Well, what about these banks? Just going to forget about them? They're broke. They're broke. And that $650 billion is going to hit the market. Oh, and wait a minute. Another problem they didn't fix on those banks. They got millions and millions of commercial loans. Remember, in 2017, 2018, 2019, they could go get a loan if you wanted to go buy a property, and it was 90. Usually the properties were 90% full. You could get a loan for about 3%, and all you had to do is pay interest only. You could get a 5-year loan, interest only, paying about 3%. And then you'd say, well, then all I'm going to do is roll it over in 5 years. Well, wait a minute. Something's wrong here. You can't roll it over for 2.8 or 3%. You're going to be rolling over for 7 to 8%. And not only that, but the valuations of these properties are down by half. Do you know what kind of hit these banks are going to take? These regional banks? But they didn't fix that either. So they never fix anything. They just say, here's what they do. Well, why don't we just take the mega bank? Why don't we just take NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Tesla? Let's trade them. Everybody will be happy. They make up 29% of the S&P. Think about that. Those stupid stocks make up 29% of the S&P. The market cap's $38 trillion. On the S&P, they make up 29%. Year to date, the S&P's up 19%. 7 Those 7 stocks contributed 71%. The other 493% only contributed 6%, and you think we got a strong rally? Are you kidding? Think of it this way. These 7 stocks have an annual growth of 11%. The other 493 have an annual growth of 4%. What are you, nuts? So what do they do to mask everything? Well, look what they did. Look what they did in October. October of 2022, when they couldn't get the banks to, they couldn't get the tech stocks to rally because yields were too high at 4%, and they don't go up on 4%. So they put together a $15-20 billion pool and had all the banks buy Microsoft and Apple. See, that's what they do. They always go back to the same stocks to rally the market to pretend everything's good. That's what they do. They mask it. So to ask, do you think the market's just going to keep going up now? Everything's okay? What are you, nuts?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
The feds have raised interest rates again, and AI is the topic of the day. No matter what the financial headlines are, be a successful investor with Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Take advantage of the free 10-day trial for the Working Investor Program. Phil Grande has put together the tools you need to understand the stock market, with full access to the Phil's Gang website and access to Phil's Pro 2 color-coded charting software. Know with confidence when to buy, sell, and short a stock. Members also have access to Coffee Talk. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern, Phil Grande talks about what's happening on Wall Street that day. Want to be a better investor? Then take advantage of the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. You'll find many more features and tools for the working investor. After the trial, it's just $59.95 a month for membership. Invest with the best. Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Phil Grande here, Phil's Gang Radio Show. Tired of Wall Street's games? We've got the antidote. Learn the art of short selling. And then you're going to gain a top-notch stock market education with Phil's Gang and philsgang.com. We're so confident you'll love it because we're offering a 10-day free trial to our Working Investor Program. No gimmicks, just real strategies. Sign up to a Phil's Gang membership today and take control of your financial future. Visit www.philsgang.com now.
To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grande and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor Program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grande and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Become an expert investor. Here's Phil Grande of Phil's Gang Radio Show.
If you want financial freedom, But don't let Wall Street hold you back. Discover what they are hiding and how to thrive, even in a stock market crash. Unlock these secrets with a 10-day free trial to our Working Investor program. Real strategies, no fluff. Take action right now. Come on, become a Phil's Gang member and reclaim your financial freedom. Just visit www.philsgang.com.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Well, I would certainly not give up on most mega cap positions because these are high quality companies with great free cash flow, and many are at reasonable valuations.
Reasonable valuations. Is this guy insane or what? Is this guy nuts? Oh, don't give up on them. No. Think about it. The S&P 500 gained 19%. And only 7 tech stocks contribute 71% of the 19%. So let's just stay with those 7 stocks from now to the end of time, because they're only going to keep going up. Oh, and the valuations, don't worry about them. Are you kidding? Every time we buy those stocks, the members, we get nosebleeds. Valuations, are you kidding me? So we bought, first of all, I had my members buy, because I told you we're going to have this one big last rally. I said it was going to happen in October, and we bought the ETF banks. I said to them on, what date was that? October 31st. I sent everybody an alert. I said, you got to buy XLF, that's the ETF for all the banks. You got to buy the Qs, because that's what's going to drive this big last rally, the Qs and the banks. Because everybody's going to short cover these things. They're going to go up like crazy. And we did, and we're still in them. We took some profits, and we're going to stay in them as long as they continue to go up. But once our footprint changes and we start seeing red coming in, then we're going to get all these damn things. But think about, again, that the problems that we have, these regional banks are toast. They're insolvent. They've been hiding $650 billion in unrealized losses. And they've only been able to do that because Dodd-Frank, before they left, those two gangsters, changed the law that allowed banks to hide their losses. Keep them on the books. Are you kidding me? Now, the big problem that nobody understands, the regional banks, you got millions and millions of people that are uninsured. How are they going to insure all these people? Oh yeah, they did it with the 3 banks, but you're talking 180 banks. We're just going to print money, and people think, oh, inflation's over with now. It came down 0.1%. Do you know what's going to happen? Inflation's going to go through the roof. Remember, inflation's not over with, but nobody wants to believe it. So you got millions of uninsured depositors. They're going to have to be taken care of. And they put a Band-Aid on this. I mean, the banks are in stage 4 cancer. Instead of fixing it, they put a Band-Aid on it. And they printed $12 billion and said to the CEOs, every time you need money, one of your customers want their cash back to buy a 3-month treasury, here, you can give them the cash. Just come to our window, and we'll give you the money. We got $12 billion waiting for it. Where did they get the $12 billion from? Where did they get that from? They printed it and they borrowed it. That's inflationary. Oh, but inflation's going to come back down to 2%. Oh, I see. I'm bad. But just again, think how stupid could Powell be, knowing he's going to raise rates. He's got 186 regional banks out there, and he didn't sit down with one CEO to find out where the benchmark would be, where he's got to stop raising so he doesn't put them out of business. That was done on purpose. They did that in 2008. Why? Because they want these banks out of business, like in 2008. So the big banks can come in. They don't have to buy any of the assets. They don't have to buy the deposits. They just take it over. That's what they're going to do. Take it over. Did that in 2008 because they want one big bank. They want one big bank. They want one big J.P. Morgan. So they're busting these banks on purpose. But let's keep making money. And again, if you just join our gang, we'll show you with our Pro 2 how to follow the print of money, the footprint of money. And so and also you're going to learn, so when they start to crash, you make money on the way back down. Now there's another problem. There's another problem these people have. Not only do we have the problem of the 180 regional banks, they're insolvent, and we got to print all this money, okay, to take care of all these people, depositors that are uninsured. That's going to bring inflation way up. And then we got these 5-year commercial loans all coming due this year and next year. And guess who's got all these loans? These same commercial banks that are upside down. And think what they did. They took out 5-year interest rate only loans. They go buy a office complex that was 90% filled. They could get a loan for 3.8%. Now that loan's going to be rolled over to 8%. You know what that's going to do? All these banks, these people are just going to be walking away. They're not going to roll these things over. They're going to walk away. Would you pay 7.3%? The interest is going up double, and you got half the people. When you bought it, you had 90% occupancy. Now you're in there, you got 50% occupancy. And then I get a kick out of, the market's just going to keep going up. Yeah, because we got 7 stocks going to keep bringing the market up. Why don't they get rid of all the other stocks? They keep telling us, the labor market was strong. Again, they came out again today. Labor market's strong. That's why things are good. Yeah, the labor market's strong. That's why the market's going to continue to go up and never going to come down again. What? They repeated that again today. Consumer strong for the third quarter. What? Are you kidding? The households, the working families, you know what they've been spending? They tell them how strong they are. They've been spending, go back to 2020, 2022, because they didn't have to pay their autos. They could had moratoriums on auto payments, moratoriums on student loan payments, moratorium on rent, moratorium on loan mortgages. They had all this extra cash. That's what made them look strong. They're not strong. They're broke. Now what's happening? Oh, and here's the big one. The big one is the Employer Retention Act. You ever hear the ads on TV and radio every day? Give us a call, 800-888 Retention Act. You can get $26,000 for every employee that worked for you. See, here was the deal. The deal was they came up with a stupid program that if your business was shut down, now you can go into the government and say, you shut my business down. I want you to call back to me. Each employee, I want you to send me a check for $21,000. Every employee I had working for me, I want all my withholding tax back. Even if you didn't pay it in, they included, if you set up a new corporation last Thursday, they'll still give you the money. It was so full of fraud that they just shut it down on September 14th, so full of fraud. But you had think about this, it was going to cost us $60 billion, us the taxpayer, right, to give all these businesses, okay, send them each a check If they had 10 employees, we sent them a check for $260,000. Can you imagine how stupid this was? How stupid this was? Can you imagine? This was so full of fraud, they finally closed the thing down. Well, they didn't close it down because of the fraud. They closed it down because we're going to just be broke. We're going to be broke. How are we going to give everybody? This is so stupid. So when they closed it down, instead of costing you and me $60 billion, it's cost you and I $450 billion. We ended up paying $450 billion out to these businesses who got closed down, and they send a letter to the government and say, oh, I want all my withholding tax back on Jimmy and John and Peter. And Jimmy and John and Peter never worked for the guy. He never had any Jimmy, John, or Peter, or Mary, or Stewie. No, none of them ever worked for him. But he got checks anyways. Can you imagine? People were sending in letters and getting checks back. $26,000 a pop. Now you and I are on a hook for $60 billion. Isn't that insane? Let's talk about making money when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, you know, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up, or why there's continued inflation, or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Are you saying that it's all clear on the inflation front, that the bear case is in fact now dead?
I would say it's all. I would say it's all clear on the inflation front.
Isn't that amazing? That's Siegel. I mean, Professor Siegel. He teaches because you could never make it on the outside. You could never open a business and be successful. Are you kidding me? We're clear on inflation. Gasoline is still up, what? We said yesterday, 49%? Food. Just everybody look around. You think inflation, that 0.5% fixed everything? And 0.5%, the PPI fixed everything? That's what they're saying. But you got to be ahead of everybody, okay? And that's what we do. I kept telling everybody we're going to have this one big rally right before the crash. And we started on October 20th, we started to buy some gold stocks. We bought AU, we bought GDX, but just a scout. And because I said, if you don't start paying attention to these two gold miners, you're going to lose. All of a sudden the stock's going to be up 15%. It got away from you, and that's how you have to do it. So we're always way ahead. So we're already, we did the same thing with the bond market. The bond market, TLT, the bond market was going down. People were getting killed. We did the same thing that day. I said, let's buy some TLT because it's going to turn around. They're all going to have to cover their short positions. So we're always ahead because, see, you got to follow the footprint of money. Fundamentals do nothing for you. The only reason why they talk fundamentals, they always talk to you about fundamentals, right, is because that's how they keep you engaged, thinking they're smarter than you are. You listen to them, you go, what the hell is he talking about? Reserve cash flow, what the hell? I need a broker. No, you don't need a broker. You don't. I mean, all you got to, if you can read a roadmap, you can buy a stock. And what you should do is just buy the spiders, 500 best stocks in the world. And that's what we did I said to my gang member on October 31st, I said, let's buy right now the banks, XLF, and buy the Qs. We'll buy the basket. And now they're up about 12% now. Now, people are jumping and buying them today. And what we're saying here, have some of ours. Take some of ours. And then on November 1, I sent them another alert. Buy bank stocks. These bank stocks are going to go up. Buy the bank stocks. Sure enough, boom, they took off. November 10th, this was the one. November 10th, I sent all my members, said, be patient now. They're going to now at a phase, they're going to do anything. They're going to do anything to rocket this market up. That was on the 10th. And when do we have that spike? What date was that? That was the Tuesday. I forget what date. Tuesday was the 14th. So on the 10th, I knew something was going on. I said, they're going to do something. And sure enough, they took that little tiny number, 0.1%, and they made it like unbelievable. And the market went up 600 points. But we were way ahead of it. Because what helps us is the stock charts we design. Everything's on a color code. It's following the footsteps. It follows the footsteps of money. You can use it for 10 days for free and see what it's about. Really, check it out. It works. It works. So now what's going to happen is this. we're going into the holidays here, so there's going to be very little volume. And when there's little volume, the stocks will keep going up because nobody can short. You can't short stocks when there's no volume, okay? So we're going to get between here and the end of the year, they're going to keep rallying, keep rallying, keep rallying. And when this thing breaks, and the catalyst is going to be these banks. See, the banks have always led the market. For 172 years, always led the market. But no more. What they did is they exchanged out and said, let's get the tech stocks to lead the market. Well, look what happened to tech stocks. They couldn't lead the market anymore. And they stopped in March. And they couldn't lead. They broke. Except for 5 stocks. And then everybody started jumping to those 5 stocks. I mean, you can't have 5 to 7 stocks. If anyone thinks in their right mind that when you have 19% gain and you got that from 7 stocks contributing 71%, you think that's a healthy market? You think that's healthy breadth? The first thing you learn in this kind of business is breadth is so important. Breadth is so important. And you only got the other 493 contribute 6%, while 7 contribute 71, and you think you're good, you stay in these markets, they're good? Are you kidding me? So there's going to be some great opportunities, some great shorting opportunities, and we'll show you how to do it. You know, the other day I was talking about how everybody, especially Democrats, talk about how they're for the poor, right? I was at the supermarket the other day, and I was watching this family. I mean, they couldn't even, they barely could afford hot dogs, but they're sitting there with scratch tickets, right? I said, the Democrats, if they really cared about the poor like they said they do, that they're for the poor, they should get rid of the lottery. I mean, I'm watching them. They probably couldn't even, they couldn't afford anything, but they're scratching money to get some food, but they put enough money to buy these scratch tickets. Are you kidding me? The Democrats going to help the poor. Well, if you're going to help the poor, then why all these environmental laws? Now they try to get a bridge built or a bridge paint. Now how long it takes to get a permit before you get people to work? It takes a year to get the permits. So if the Democrats were for the working people, then why don't they get rid of all those constraints? Get rid of the red tape. And all these environmental laws making construction so expensive, you can't buy a first home anymore. First home was the best. When you had your first home, the first home buyer, it was the strength of our nation. Because the first, like a startup business, the first home buyer, he'd go get a lawnmower, he has to buy furniture. We thrived on first home buyers, first time buyers. No more, they can't afford it. Well, wait a minute, I thought the Democrats really cared about the poor. And then this new Green Deal. Look at the price of electricity going up. Who gets screwed? The poor is getting screwed. Unbelievable. And open borders, right? Are you kidding? Now they bring everybody over, and these people that didn't finish high school, they're not educated folks. Well, I didn't finish high school either, but they're taking minimum wage jobs from Americans. Open borders. I just get so angry with the phoniness. So, the best thing to do is don't get involved with any of that stuff. Just put your head down and keep grinding. And the best place to grind is the stock market, because the stock market is where the money is. All you got to learn is, why is it that 85% of the people who buy and sell stocks lose money? What is it that they lose money? If I could just figure that, well, we're going to show you. We're going to show you. And then if you just stay with our 6 stocks, we always tell people when they come to the gang, don't trade your stocks anymore. Trade with us on our stocks. That's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to learn. You don't go to a golf pro, right? And all of a sudden you get your bag and you go off on your own, and the golf pro's sitting there and you're nowhere to be found. Right? If you stay with the golf pro, you're going to learn, right? But no, imagine going to the golf go to the golf course and you got a lesson, but instead of going with the pro, you say, well, I'm going to play my own game. So when you come to our golf course, Phil's Gang right here, stay with us on our stocks, the stocks that we are trading and investing. Stay with us so you learn. Okay, wonder why they bought Apple, or wonder why they bought Disney. Look at Disney. We bought Disney when nobody wanted Disney. That's what you got to do. You got to buy stocks when nobody wants them. And now when everybody wants them, now you say to them like today all day long, here, have mine. Here, have some of mine. Have some of mine. It's already up 20%. Have some of mine. Oh, my God. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on the chart. Join my gang, free for 10 days. We can help you. We really can. Remember saying shrewd, please.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.